WWE are concerned about LA Knight's backstage attitude. Plus, an AEW star takes a backstage role, and is an AEW legend retiring? It's all in the wrestling news right now. Nothing will stop the torrent of love and support for LA Knight, your best friend.
My best friend in the entire world. I have his phone number.
I saw you chatting it up.
Did you?
Him.
How did you see that?
On the internet, on the YouTube. Look at that.
Oh, right, that one.
There's Ross. I didn't see the other one.
The eggplant and all that sort of stuff going on.
There's Ross and LA Knight there hanging out of Money in the Bank. But some concerns behind the scenes about LA Knight, apparently.
Yeah, PW and Torch. PW Torch. I said PW and Torch. Like some sort of cobblers or something. Sources indicate that Vince McMahon has grown to be a fan of LA Knight. Hurrah! And Paul Levesque already was. However, Knight has a long-running reputation for rubbing people up the wrong way behind the scenes and just being bad at backstage politics. Those who know him well tend to like him, and some of them have spoken up on his behalf when Knight gives a bad first impression.
Now, some could see this as cobblers. Let's just put that out there.
He's a professional.
By all indications, despite his average or below average work in the ring, this is PW Torch quoted.
I'm shaking in this seat, Tom.
At the level of most WWE main eventers, he's on course to get a push at a high level in spite of that, because he has a special X factor and a connection with the crowd that hasn't gone unnoticed by anyone. Interesting. I don't like reading when someone says, a reputation for being bad at backstage politics. That could mean anything from they're rude and curse and just generally an arse to be around, or they just don't shake everybody's hand.
Yeah, it could be something as little as that, because you have to shake every single wrestler's hand when you go to a wrestler show backstage. That's a thing you have to do for some reason. I don't understand why.
Can I tell you something that might torpedo my future wrestling career?
Go on then.
I don't shake everybody's hand when I do.
Only the ones he likes, eh? Only the ones he likes. If he doesn't shake your hand, he hates you.
I hate you. And also, I am one for at North to do, I think it's called either a French or an Irish goodbye, where you just...
see you later then.
No, not quite that. It's when you just disappear after the show. Like,
why is that French or Irish?
Because I think it's one of the two. You'll know, you've told me at the bottom. But to the point where I know, like, as the final bell has been rung, I have already got my Uber booked.
His private limousine already pulled up outside.
My private limo's already pulled up.
I'll tell you what though, going back to this story here,
yes,
I always find these things interesting, because they always say that, like, oh, you got to step on X to make something of yourself in the WWE. Oh, you can't just go along with the scripts. You got to stand up for yourself and make things happen. But when they do, stories like this come out. Bray Wyatt being hard to work with because he cared about what he was doing in storyline springs to mind immediately when stuff like this comes out.
There's been a few things like that have come out, and some people may say, oh, weirdly, when certain wrestlers are backstage difficult to work with, you lambast them, but when it's LA Knight, you support them, to which we say,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Because how often does someone come along like LA Knight, who organically has got louder and louder and louder cheers as the weeks and the months have gone on? How often does it happen?
Very rarely happens.
Very rarely. Very, very rarely.
They said it couldn't happen, but they said that about Chicken Kievs. Now, let's talk about... Very briefly, I want to mention this. Now, Chelsea Green has completely shut all this down, but what a little pop that we got if you like me, were watching DDT and their Peter Pan show over the weekend, and there's Matt Cardona wearing the WWE Women's Tag Team title.
Or so we thought.
That is, in fact, a replica. Chelsea Green went on the internet to tell us all off for thinking otherwise.
How stupid do you think I could be, she said. We said, yes, it makes total sense that you would give the replica, not the real thing.
Yeah.
It was with her at home. Dude the Doodle was there, Walter was there, and also the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Or was the one at home a replica?
Oh, don't tell.
Was Chelsea Green a replica? That's what a replica would want you to think.
I don't know what to even read anymore.
Oh, it's Monday,
Is Chelsea Green AI? Is that what we're saying, is it?
She could be. She could be. We wouldn't know for many years if that was the case. Moving over to AEW, a backstage role for a top star.
Yes, Orange Cassidy, this comes to us from Fireful Select, saying Orange Cassidy's picked up work as a producer/agent in AEW. We specifically learned that he produced recent matches between Infantry versus the Kingdom and Big Bill and Brian Cage versus Matt Sydal and Trent. Who the hell are Infantry?
The Infantry. That's Trish Adora and her merry man.
Oh, yeah. Ring of Honor stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know.
That's the ones.
I feel like an arsehole now.
Hey, look. Now, Orange Cassidy, this doesn't mean that he is retiring. He will continue to represent as AEW International Champion. Just ahead of the game, I've got all the comments that you may want to make about that, which is, what's he going to teach them to put their hands in his pockets? Oh, what can he teach? He's rubbish at wrestling. Lol, pockets couldn't teach me anything. And ha pockets. And when are we getting to do what happened to that wrestler? There's all the comments that you were going to make that you've now made.
To be fair, though, Orange Cassidy obviously gets a lot of pelters like that because people like to reduce people to little to nothing when they see something that they don't quite agree with.
Yes.
But you watch his matches with the likes of Will Ospreay, and that man can't tell a story inside the wrestling ring.
He really can.
And the action he pulls off is fantastic. It is wonderful. I wish I could do a clip up like him.
You do it now.
I can't.
Try now.
Orange Cassidy, give me a call. Teach me how to do it. You producer man, you.
How about a list of 10 non-wrestlers you don't remember from the world of WWE? This is a fascinating thing that we dropped on the YouTube channel.
There was someone an interview, a guy who stood next to Vince McMahon. I can't remember his name. That's the entire point of the video.
That's the whole point. Yeah. I looked at you'll look at the thumbnail for this video. It's on the channel right now. You'll look at the thumbnail and you'll go, that's computer generated like Chelsea Green. Yeah. That's not a real thing. 10 non-wrestlers from WWE that you don't remember. They're on there right now. All your money back. One guy we do remember from WWE is Badass Billy Gunn, a.k.a. Daddy Ass. And he has been in the news over the weekend, hasn't he?
Yes, there was a trios tag title match where the biggest news apart from this could be retirement was Malachi Black shaving his face and looking better for it.
He looked good for it, didn't he?
My goodness. Whoa, smolder. How lovely, pal. Anyway, at the end of the match, Billy Gunn eats the pinfall to lose the match for the Acclaimed against the House of Black. Malachi has a little whisper in his ear. He's like... And then that forces Billy Gunn to sort of question his life and take off his wrestling boots and storm past the Acclaimed as it looks like he's retired.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Put the old boots in the centre of the ring, which is a classic indicator of your time is done.
Unless you're the Undertaker.
Yeah, in which case it means you're done for a bit. Come and collect them afterwards. I do believe Undertaker should have come back in his pants and gone into the ring and collected his gear.
It's got redressed again.
Yeah, if you're going to come back after doing that, you have to do the embarrassing walk of shame to go and get it again. The Guns paid tribute to their daughter on Twitter. They tweeted, Colton tweeted, "We aren't on the best terms right now, but thank you. No other words need to be said." And Austin followed up with, "All jokes aside, thank you for everything. Never needed a big send-off. Never asked for anything. Just went out there and had fun, even though we haven't seen eye to eye recently. We love you, Billy Gunn."
Love
you, Dad.
Do the roar. 4 decades of in-ring work. I think he made his debut in 1989.
1989, Billy Gunn was in there. And look at the gamut that he has run in the wrestling world. The peaks and the troughs. The peaks have been very high. The troughs have been very low. We've had the Smoking Guns. We had Rockabilly for a bit.
Yeah.
Rockabilly. We had the New Age Outlaws were born out of that, accidentally creating one of the greatest tag teams of a decade. We had...
The best Billy Gunn. The one Billy Gunn.
I got it all. Great music. What a time. We had a run in TNA where he reunited with
Bottom. Well, that was Road Dogg, but he was also there.
Meet me at the Alamo, Hickam Bottom. The James Gang, later the Voodoo Kid Mafia. They were called, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
It's really clever, isn't it? Take that one.
Oh, I bet he was crying. And then eventually they'd find his way to rekindle stuff with WWE, New Age Outlaws run where they feuded with The Shield very briefly.
They were tag team champions, weren't they, for a little bit? Or wait, have I just made that up?
They had a briefer run with the tag titles.
Oh my God, I'm trying to think about the pennies in 2014. I can see it in my head, but I might have just dreamt it.
I can see them with the pennies. He then left to earn some pennies for AEW in 2019, and he worked as a trainer and has had a proper career renaissance with Max Caster and Anthony Bowens.
Yeah, and I guess the stuff with the trainer for the Performance Center as well. They think about the Tough Enoughs around 2015.
Oh yes, that
where
clip.
He's barking at that crocodile man. I've forgotten his ZZ, was
it? Screaming at people for not taking the training seriously enough in his eyes.
He's done it all.
He's done it all.
Yeah.
Now we don't know whether this is a legit retirement or whether this is a bit of storyline tango.
It's all about the whisper from Malachi, and what does it mean?
White boots don't suit you. What if that's all it was? I think this will be a story to be told there. But you know what? I think it's a nice little point to do a little tip of the cap to Monty Sop for whatever comes next. A busy career. A remarkable career.
Yeah.
For the best pure athlete in all of the World Wrestling Federation.
And I guess as well, it's not a career that people were saying, "Oh, we want this to end." He still had it, didn't he?
Oh,
He had it all.
He had it all. We'll keep tabs on that one. That might be an interesting thing for the next weeks to come. We'll have more wrestling news, of course, throughout the day as well at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.
It's the saxophone from Billy Gunn the One's theme.
Such a good theme.